How to avoid tons of problems in life. Go to bed on time.
So I love these. I want to find single behaviors that have many positive outcomes. So if you think about leverage as what you get for the effort you put in, if you have lots of leverage, then it means you can do one thing and get many big outcomes, right? Or one very big outcome. That's high leverage. If you put a lot of work in and get a very little bit out of it, you have low leverage. And so the highest form of leverage I think of are what's one behavior or one skill that I can learn that then has many, many downstream impacts. And so and this is specifically, I'll say, for the 20-ish year olds, so 20 to 30, 20 to 35, if you can simply go to bed on time, you avoid drinking and getting in a DUI, you avoid early pregnancies, you avoid messing up your work because you don't sleep well, because you show up hungover the next day and then you don't get the career advancement that you want, or you get the judgments from your coworkers from the fact that you're responsible because you drink, even though it might have been responsible drinking, but you still smell like booze because it's in your system. If you go to bed on time, it's less likely that you'll get mugged. It's less likely you'll be in a car accident. Like there's all of these downstream impacts from one single behavior. And you also have better quality sleep in general if you go to sleep at the same time every day over and over again. So that means that you have life extension things that happen. You look younger. And so now 5 years, 10 years later, people are like, wow, you look so good for your age. There's all of these things from one central behavior, which is just fucking go to bed on time. And so if you want the action for this, you set your alarm for when you go to bed, not for when you wake up. If you set your alarm for when you go to bed, you will always be able to wake up naturally at whatever time you wake up. And it's very difficult to oversleep when you go to bed at 9 because you can get 8 hours of sleep and still be up by 5.
What are some of the other behaviors that fit in that category, do you think?
Oh, the mega bang behaviors.
Mm-hmm. I'll give you one that a friend gave me while you think. Buying a dog was his. So externalizing your sense of self, having something which gives you unconditional love. Your step count has just quadrupled at least. There is a sort of degree of responsibility. It's sort of early onset furry child rearing that makes you a better parent in future, just downstream from this one decision. An essentially infinite number of good things happen. What are you grinning at me for?
My team's smiling because they know that there's probably like one thing that I tell everyone not to do.
Get a dog?
Yeah.
Wow. Why don't you want them to get a dog?
So I think that getting a dog for the reasons that you outlined makes sense for living life satisfaction. Like if you don't walk, walking a dog is a good thing. If I already walk, I don't get that benefit. If I have interpersonal relationships and an outside version of awareness of self, then I don't necessarily get the benefit. But there are significant costs to having a dog, which for me, from a making money perspective, because that is the game that I like to play, it costs a lot. Dogs cost a tremendous amount. And so they cost you not being able to go to events. They cost you having to break up in the middle of the day to go home to let the dog out. They cost actual money. The amount of total time that you spend walking the dog, if you already work out, is most of the time just wasted. Now you could say, hey, I'm listening to a podcast, fine. But it will interrupt deep work for the most part. And so so to give you context on how extreme I am about this, Layla bought a dog and then I got her to give it away.
What sort of dog was it?
King Charles Spaniel, the little
nice, strong British dog.
Super nice dog. Nothing wrong with the dog. Yep. Good dude.
Racist decision.
Yes. And so we just gave it to somebody else in a good home and it's very happy. And you know what? It probably forgot about me instantly.
What else? What are some of these other big bangs?
I mean, there's obviously the exercise, because like if you think about what are the big things that, because the dog one was downstream from, I mean, for me, a big one there is exercise. Like if you walk one or two
fitness,
times a day.
it's like physical and psychological health, basically.
Yeah. So it has multiple there. I would say eating your body weight in grams of protein per day. So if we think about lean body mass as one of the big predictors for long-term health and things like that, there are only 3 things that are anabolic: hormones, resistance training, and protein. Like if someone doesn't eat protein and they start eating protein, they have more muscle. Like you don't have to exercise. If you just eat more protein, you gain muscle. Because you lose less muscle because more of it comes from your diet than eating away the muscle you have. Like that's it. Like those are the three things. And so like you can do one of them. And the nice thing is, for most people who want to operationalize this, there's this big idea, and I'm not going to get into food and fitness stuff because dear God, but people think I have to eat healthy and it's this big amorphous thing. But if we chunk it down, it means that you need to pick 2 things that you like to eat in the morning that have the macros that you need to hit. And you can try as many times as you want because you only need 1 or 2 that you actually like, and then you can stick with it.
This is one of the best insights that you had about diet, which is people overcomplicate trying to deconstruct what a diet consists of. But if you actually look at what you eat across a year, it's probably 5 meals on rotation, maybe less. I think I've probably got 3 good meals in my locker. You know, my Gordon Ramsay would be fucking ashamed of us coming from the same country. So, okay, we'll just optimize those 3 meals or those 5 meals.
And that's it. And the thing is that a lot of personal development things, business things are a lot like that, where they feel like an elephant when you are trying to break down this mat. Like I have to learn nutrition. There's 5 meals, 10 meals max that you eat 90% of the time. You just need to shift the dynamic of those meals.
Even the restaurants that you go to, even the way that you order your food in the restaurants.
That's it. And so that would be one that I would say is a super high leverage. One thing you can do is just change the 3 to 5 meals that you eat most commonly to be the ones that are more aligned with what you want.
And go to bed on time.
I mean, shoot, if you go to bed on time and you do that,
King of the world.
King of the world.
I've been using my 8 Sleep mattress for years and I absolutely love it. When I'm on the road, like now, I'm miserable. I go to bed and I'm too hot and I have to use the air conditioning to try and cool me down and it doesn't work and my sleep sucks. If you find yourself waking up in the middle of the night because of temperature, this is the solution. 8 Sleep's brand new Pod 4 Ultra can cool each side of the bed down to 20 degrees below room temperature, and for those who snore heavily, it can detect your snoring and automatically lift your head a few degrees to improve airflow and stop it. It cools, it heats, it elevates, and it is clinically proven to give you up to 1 hour more of quality sleep every night. Best of all, they ship to the United States, Canada, UK, Europe, and Australia. And if you're not sure, there is a 30-day sleep trial, so you can buy it and sleep on it for 29 days. If you do not like it, they will give you your money back. Right now, you can get $350 off the Pod 4 Ultra by going to the link in the description below or heading to 8sleep.com/modernwisdom using the code modernwisdom at checkout. That's EIGHTsleep.com/modernwisdom and modernwisdom at checkout. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you enjoyed that clip, you will love the full-length podcast with the one and only Mr. Hormozi right here. Go on.